Hey everyone, this is Dan. It's December 6, 2020. I'd like to talk about Moderna, the company that has developed a COVID vaccine based on the revolutionary messenger RNA technology. I will explain why my decision is to buy Moderna with caution and only at the right price. I'll be covering the following topics: COVID-19 and vaccine timeline, stock price, financial summary, development pipeline, analysts ratings, valuation, patents and lawsuits, stock sales by top executives and Merck. The information covered in this video will be a lot more than what you typically see in an article, for example, from Investors, Business Daily, or Wall Street Journal, or Seeking Alpha, or from any of the analysts. That's because of my no-nonsense analytical approach as an MBA and engineer. If you prefer to see a pretty face who talks pleasantly for 20 minutes with very little content, there are quite a few YouTubers who can provide that. I have nothing against people with pretty faces, and I think Ryan Reynolds actually made quite a few good movies. But sorry, I wasn't born with a pretty face, so I have to earn my success with well-researched data. Let's get back to Moderna. Since Moderna's future is so intimately linked to the COVID-19 vaccine, we will first look at the timeline for COVID-19 and the Moderna vaccine. On December 31, 2019, the government of Wuhan, China confirmed that health authorities were treating dozens of cases regarding a new strain of coronavirus. On January 11, 2020, China shared the genetic sequence of the novel coronavirus, which was later on renamed by the World Health Organization as COVID-19. On February 7th, the first clinical batch of MRNA 1273 produced by Moderna was completed. On March 16, the first participant in phase 1 study was injected with the vaccine. On April 27, Moderna submitted an investigation and new drug application to the FDA for phase 2 study. On July 27th, phase 3 trial started. On November 16, the company announced that the vaccine was found to be 94.5% effective. Let's look at the stock price. The company stock went through an initial public offering (IPO) in December of 2018 at about $20 a share. Then when the COVID vaccine started phase 1 trial, the stock price was already at $30 a share. At the start of phase 2, it was at $50 a share. At the start of phase 3, it was at more than $80 a share. And after it was announced that the vaccine is 94.5% effective, the stock price shot up to more than $140 a share. I believe the stock price will continue to go up as the vaccine gets approved by major countries in the world. Let's look at the financial summary. Based on the stock price of $152, the company is worth about $60 billion. Moderna has been generating negative earnings since at least 2016. Because of the success of its COVID vaccine, the picture will change significantly in 2021. A recent Bloomberg article found Moderna to have firm contracts for 262 million doses of vaccines to be produced by the end of 2021. At about $30 per dose, it will translate to at least $7.5 billion of revenues and $2.9 billion of net earnings for 2021. And this reminds me of a joke. How do you make a small fortune in the stock market? You start out with a big one. So at what price points will you buy or sell Moderna so that you can end up with a bigger fortune and not a smaller fortune a few months from now? I will answer that question. If you like what you see so far in my video, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Please also click on the notification button so that you will be notified when I post more videos in the future. I will be posting about 1 video a week. Development pipelines are very important for pharmaceutical companies. The COVID vaccine will make a lot of money for Moderna next year. The revenues from the vaccine will fade away in the next 2 to 3 years as other companies introduce their own vaccines. The key question for Moderna's long-term health is whether they have other products in the development pipeline. According to Moderna's website, they have 21 products in the pipeline, which is a fairly positive sign. That means Moderna won't collapse after the COVID vaccine fades away in the next 2-3 years. Let's look at how the analysts have been rating the company. Yahoo gave the company the rating of 2.3 out of 5, which is somewhat positive. And on December 1st, August Research raised its target price from $88 to $200. That's extremely positive for Moderna. Louis Navellier gave the company the overall rating of B, which is positive. TheStreet.com, however, doesn't like the company as much. They gave the company a rating of C. TipRanks.com gives a rating of moderate buy, which is somewhat positive, and Wall Street Journal Market gives a rating of overweight, which is fairly positive. Let's look at my own evaluation of the company. When you look at the PE ratio of a few pharmaceutical companies, you can see that the average PE ratio is 13.9. Moderna has the forward PE ratio of 23.8. Two examples of high growth companies, Amazon and Tesla, have PE ratios of 69.7 and 153.6, which are much higher than Moderna's 23.8. Assuming a forward PE ratio of 20 for Moderna and annual earnings of $3 billion, and with $400 million shares outstanding, we should expect a target price of $150 a share, which is a little bit lower than the current price of $152. But at the PE ratio of 30, then the price would be $225. I therefore would definitely buy Moderna when it's under $150. The stock price can also go up to $225. It all depends on how much enthusiasm there is among the investors. I'm just telling you what I would do. Since I'm not a financial advisor, you should not just take my words for it. You should consult your financial advisors before you make your final decision on whether to buy or sell Moderna and at what prices. I'm just sharing my research for your reference. In the next few weeks, if Moderna gets approval from the US, EU, or UK, I believe the stock price will go up even more from today's level. Moderna already has a PE ratio that is higher than other pharmaceuticals' PE ratios. You might say there is some fluff in the stock price already. But if I can make some short-term profit by riding the fluff, so be it. I will, however, be very, very careful. You might ask, why is Tesla trading at the PE ratio 154 when Moderna is only at 24? My answer is that because Elon Musk is a genius or a master of illusion, or both. I will probably make a video about Tesla in the near future. Now let's talk about the downside risks so that we can protect ourselves in case the stock price crashes. We will first look at the complicated world of patents and lawsuits in the pharmaceutical industry. Which reminds me of a joke. A man walks into a lawyer's office and asks the lawyer, "How much do you charge for your work?" The lawyer says, $100 for 3 questions. The man says, "Wow, that's very expensive." The lawyer says, "Yeah, and what's your 3rd question?" Moderna has more than 240 patents in the US, Europe, Japan, and other countries. 7 of them are related to the COVID vaccine. The company is already involved in lawsuits with a company by the name of Arbutus regarding messenger RNA-related patents. And the company accepted US government funding on COVID vaccine development. Therefore, the US government might claim partial ownership of some of the patents, but I'm not too worried about that. In the meanwhile, Moderna's competitors, Pfizer, BioNTech, and Regeneron, have all been sued by another company by the name of Allele Biotechnology on patents related to COVID products. There have been already quite a few lawsuits going on. On August 6, 2020, Moderna announced that the company would not enforce its COVID-19 related patents against other companies during the pandemic. However, they reserved the rights to pursue licensing agreements after the pandemic. There will continue to be patent lawsuits on COVID vaccines. In my opinion, Moderna is not exposed to any more risks than other COVID vaccine makers. Another warning sign is the sale of shares by insiders. Recently, 2 Moderna executives, Tal Zaks and Juan Andres, have sold all their shares in the company, and the general counsel Laurie Henderson has sold nearly all her shares. These sales were legal under the 10b5-1 plan. That means nobody violated the laws, but the sales raised concerns about the long-term health of the company. Then Merck and Company on December 1st sold its Moderna shares, but Merck still has joint projects with Moderna. If you look at the stock price movement from December 1st to December 4th, you can see that the price went as high as 178.5 on December 1st. Then Merck sold its share during the day. Stock price dropped to 128.1 before starting to recover again. As of last Friday, it closed at 152.5. This gives you a sense of how volatile the stock will be as new developments unfold in the next few weeks. That's why I'll be very cautious and watchful about the stock. As we wrap up this video, you might ask, what are all those faces on the cover page? They are the people who have been important to Moderna. Besides, the world is made up of real people, not just numbers and charts. These people are Kathleen Carrico, the co-owner of messenger RNA patents licensed by Moderna and also licensed by BioNTech. The development partner of Corico, Dr. Drew Weissman, who co-owns the mRNA patents. Stefan Bancel, the CEO of the company. Noubar Afeyan, the chairman of the board of the company, who is also a major investor of the company. And then Tony Stark. No, I'm just kidding. This is not Tony Stark, but he does look like Tony Stark, doesn't he? This is Dr. Derek Rossi, another co-founder of the company. Dr. Robert Langer, an MIT professor who is also one of the co-founders of the company. Stephen Hoge, the president, and Tal Zaks, the chief medical officer. I will be posting a video in the next few days to talk about the stories behind these individuals. They are very, very interesting stories. Someday, somebody will make a movie about all these. This concludes my video for now. If you like what you see, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Also remember to click the notification button so that you will be notified when I post more videos in the future. I will be posting about one video a week. I will also appreciate any comments or suggestions. Of course, any comment that is rude or inappropriate will be quickly deleted. All the other comments will be greatly appreciated. If you have a few more seconds, hang in there. I'd like to share with you some additional reference information. In the meanwhile, I wish you the best of luck with your financial investments. If you wonder when the market is going to crash again, check out a video on this topic in my playlist. The following is a list of the analytical tools I use and the information I look at every day to develop my investment strategies. After doing hours of research, I summarize my findings into a few minutes of video for you. Links are provided below this video for you to learn more about RSI, Bollinger Bands, the role of the Federal Reserve Bank, etc. Since Moderna's fortune is so